Today, I will be grading the Las Vegas Raiders free agency as well as a trade that they did make. We'll start with the players that they re-signed. Eric Stokes was brought back on a 3-year, $30 million contract. He was one of their better defensive players last year, definitely their best corner, and they got him back on a pretty solid deal. I absolutely love that for them. They also brought back Malcolm Koonce on a 1-year deal, as well as Thomas Booker. Now let's talk about the players that they brought in from the outside, starting with Tyler Linderbaum, who was brought in on a 3-year, $81 million contract to make him the highest paid center in the NFL. Now, no, he may not be the best center in the league, but he's definitely up there as maybe like a top 5 guy. And I think it's overall a smart move for the Raiders. You needed offensive line help, probably more than anybody in the NFL. So overall, I think this was a great move. They also brought in Quay Walker on a 3-year, $40 million contract. I think this was one of the best signings of free agency, as well as Nakobe Dean, another inside linebacker, on a 3-year, $30 million contract. Another great move from the Raiders as they fixed that linebacker room. Kwity Paye also signed a 3-year, $48 million contract with the Raiders. Now, I'm not sure if they brought him in to be the Max Crosby replacement, because now it looks like they might play together, but I don't think that'll be much of a bad thing if it does happen. That'll be a very good edge duo. They also brought in Jalen Nailor on a 3-year, $35 million contract. Now, this one makes me scratch my head a little bit. I don't think Jalen Nailor is worth that type of money, but they did need wide receiver help, and I think he could be a good fit on that team. The next move they made was bringing in Connor Hayward on a 2-year, $5.5 million contract. He's kind of a super utility player. He could play fullback, he could play tight end, and you could probably play him at running back if you really needed to. The last 2 signings they made were depth pieces and maybe a new kicker with Spencer Burford and Matt Gay. The Raiders also went ahead and traded for Taron Johnson. All they had to give up was a 6th-round pick, and they even got a 7th-rounder in return. Overall, it's a great deal in my opinion. Taron Johnson is still a good player, and I think he will fit well on that defense. But overall, the grade I would give the Raiders for this offseason is an A+. Now, obviously, we still have the draft, but when we're talking about free agency and the one trade that they did made, absolute home run moves all over the place, and you got to be happy for the Raiders. Hopefully, they are turning this franchise around. But let me know what you guys think, and what team would you like to see next?